Hello, welcome back to my channel and a very special welcome if you're new here. My name is Jen. I'm a certified weight loss and nutrition coach, and today we're talking about processed foods. I get asked all the time from my coaching clients, how the heck do I lower the amount of processed foods that I eat? Because literally almost everything is processed. So today I'm here to share with you 10 realistic ways to eat a little less processed foods. So if you're excited, give this video a big, huge thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed and your bell notification is turned on because I upload new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. Check out the description box down below for nutrition coaching. I offer personalized to you macros and calories, highly recommend, and I have one-on-one coaching if you would like to chat with me directly. Links, discounts to my favorite things are also down in that description box. So let's jump into 10 realistic ways to just cut back on the amount of processed foods that you're eating. First, let's define what is a processed food. That can be really confusing. You may be surprised at what foods are considered processed. Processed food is any food item that has been canned, cooked, frozen, pasteurized, or packaged. So yeah, that means that frozen fruit that you buy for your smoothie or those frozen vegetables in your freezer for a quick, easy side for dinner, those are considered processed. The only foods that are not processed are single ingredient foods coming from nature. So things like fruit from a tree, vegetables out of a garden, even putting meat through processing can make that meat processed. So in reality, it's going to be impossible to eliminate all processed foods. So I want to share with you just some realistic ways to lower the amount that you're eating. You can improve your health and enhance the quality of your diet by just reducing the amount of processed foods that you're eating. So tip number one is to make sure that you have healthy foods on hand. Fail to plan, plan to fail. Having portable, nutritious snacks on hand, having your kitchen, your fridge, your freezer, your pantry filled with healthy foods is a must. Some ideas are fresh fruit, mixed nuts, edamame, and veggies with hummus. And if you have a little bit of extra time on your hands, you can even put together things like turkey roll-ups, hard-boiled eggs, homemade kale chips, or even overnight oats. Those are great healthy options to always have on hand. So when you're feeling hungry or snacky, you have something healthy to reach for. Tip number two is to swap refined grains for whole grains. So refined grains are grains that have been stripped of a lot of their nutritional value. Think Wonder Bread, think potato chips, crackers. Now whole grains are in their whole form. Think about things like rolled oats, quinoa. Some really simple swaps that you can make for things like white pasta, white bread, and white rice is to swap those for a more whole grain like brown rice, whole grain pasta, and whole wheat tortillas. Another thing to think about with a refined grain versus an unrefined grain is unrefined grains generally contain fiber. During the processing, it is white bread, white pasta, white bread, white pasta, white tortillas, they're stripped of all of their nutritional value, including the fiber. And those are the types of grains that we want to stay away from. They're not giving our body anything when it comes to nutrition. And just by making those healthy swaps, you can reduce that amount of processed foods. Number three is get creative in your kitchen. Give some of your processed refined grains a healthy twist. One of my favorite things to do is make homemade veggie chips and homemade potato chips. Whenever we make something at home in our own kitchen, we get to control the ingredients that are going into this and of course the processing. Slice up some of your favorite vegetables like turnips, zucchini, carrot slices, add a bit of olive oil or avocado oil, toss them in your air fryer or toss them in your oven. Also take your favorite low carb tortilla, cut it into triangles, and again, toss it in your oven or air fryer for a healthy homemade chip. You can also whip up some chia pudding, air pop popcorn, homemade granola bars, and even homemade fruit leather. Sometimes investing in things like a dehydrator can be a big game changer. Not only will you be saving money from going out to dinner, again, you'll be controlling what is going into your meals and snacks. Tip number four is drink more water. When we eat processed foods, especially processed carbohydrates, our body's going to retain water. Carbs retain water. That's why you see people who follow a keto diet in the beginning lose a lot of weight. It's actually just water weight in the water that the carbs were storing in their body. Now, there's nothing wrong with carbohydrates. We should be eating them. But if we're going to eat a lot of processed foods in general or processed carbohydrates, add to your water to help flush out that water weight. If you can't handle just plain water, flavor your water. Add some Mio, add some fresh lemons, some mint, some cucumbers. You can even lean towards sparkling water. Just get in your hydration every day. Number 5 is to try meal prepping. Now, if you follow my weight loss channel, you know that I meal prep every week. This has been one of the main factors in my successful weight loss. If you didn't know, I've lost almost 130 pounds, and meal prepping is another one of those things that you can do for a little bit of time each week to set yourself up for success. You don't have to have the same breakfast or lunch every day. You can even batch meal prep. And this is putting together several proteins, several carb choices, several vegetables, and then each day you pick and choose what protein, carb, and veggie you want for that meal. Now, for me, I just generally prep one breakfast and one lunch and one snack. Do I eat it every day? No, I change it up throughout the week, but by the end of the week, I have finished all of the items that I've meal prepped for the week. And this again saves you from going to the drive-thru, saves you from convenience processed foods. And again, prepping it in your own kitchen, making the recipe, having it prepared, you get to control what goes into the foods that you're eating. Tip number 6 is eat more veggies. Think about this. Include 1 serving of vegetables with every meal. This is going to amp up the nutritional value and save you from choosing a processed food instead. This can be something super simple like adding some spinach to your scrambled eggs, sauteing broccoli for a simple side dish, or even tossing vegetables into casseroles and soups. Nobody will be none the wiser, and you'll get a big punch of veggies. You have to remember that vegetables are a high volume, low density food, which means that they have a lot of nutritional value, a lot of fiber, vitamins, minerals, but they're very low in calories. So if you find that you're hungry between meals or you're just not feeling very satisfied, add vegetables to your meals. That's really going to help that. Tip number 7 is to switch up your shopping routine. It's much easier to control the amount of processed foods that you're eating if you don't have a lot of them on hand. Next time you go to the grocery store, try to fill your cart with healthy, minimally processed foods. Again, the perimeter of your grocery store is where you're typically going to find these foods. Be sure to read your food labels, see how processed they are. Even dairy products are processed. All that Greek yogurt that you buy, your cottage cheese, your sour cream, even your milk, those are all processed foods. But there's definitely a difference between processed cottage cheese and processed potato chips. So read your nutritional labels and focus on the perimeter of your grocery store. Tip number 8 is make some really simple food swaps. There are countless healthy swaps for some processed food. So let me give you a few examples. Trade your sugary breakfast cereal for a bowl of oatmeal with fresh fruit. Pop your own popcorn on the stove or in place of microwave popcorn. Whip up a homemade vinaigrette with olive oil and vinegar to drizzle over salads in place of processed dressings. Make trail mix using nuts, seeds, and dried fruit for a healthy alternative to store-bought varieties. And top your salads with nuts and seeds instead of croutons. You're still going to get that yummy crunch on your salad, but it's a much less processed food. So there are some really healthy swaps that you can make to limit your processed foods. Tip number 9 is to eat less processed meat. This is something I struggle with. I lean towards deli meats a lot because they're convenient and they're packed with protein. But if you want to eat a less processed option, stop buying so much bacon, sausage, and deli meats. You can simply swap these out for less processed alternatives, such as fresh chicken, salmon, turkey, and you can replace a lot of lunch meats with less processed options like tuna fish, chicken breast, or make a delicious egg salad sandwich with some hard-boiled eggs. You can also add a lot of plant-based proteins to your meals as well, like beans and lentils and legumes. This is a great way to get in protein and fiber. Doesn't mean you can never have bacon, sausage, or lunch meat again. Just do your best to find healthier alternatives and eat those healthier alternatives a little more than those processed alternatives. And tip number 10, and this is probably the biggest tip, the best takeaway from today's video, and that is to make changes slowly. Baby steps. We want to go gung-ho into anything, but that's when we quit. That's when we get overwhelmed. That's when we get frustrated, and that's when we quit. So take it slowly. Anything that's been cooked, canned, frozen, or packaged is a processed food. So like I said, it's completely impossible or almost impossible to eliminate all processed foods. So start with one category. Maybe you stop buying deli meat and you use tuna fish or homemade turkey or turkey breast or chicken breast in place of that. Maybe you switch from white rice to brown rice, or maybe you make overnight oats and have those in your refrigerator for a whole grain healthy alternative. Pick one area of your processed food consumption and work on just lowering that just a tiny bit. It doesn't all have to happen today, and better yet, taking baby steps will lead to long-term success and sustainability. And remember, everything in moderation, including processed foods. You do not want to eliminate or restrict any food or any food group or any type of food from your diet. Just do your best to make healthy alternatives when possible and enjoy the foods that you want to enjoy in moderation. If you enjoyed today's video and if you found it helpful, give it a big, huge thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not, because I upload new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. And don't forget to check out that description box for nutrition coaching, as well as links and discounts to my favorite healthy things. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.